new nHaystack import enhanced. We're gonna start off with the import view. As you can see, we have two spaces, the site space and the history space. So we're gonna start with the site space, and as we can not see anything because we haven't generated records yet, uh, we're gonna select the haystack connector, and then if we want the site space, we're gonna define it. And now we can see all of our equips here. So let's say we want to import these points. We're gonna prepare for import, then refresh, and then we're gonna see them here. So a job is gonna run to generate the unique nav names for each equip, and then we're gonna see the nav names here. So uh, going to import regex. So what we can do is we can create a regex in Google Spreadsheet, and then we can publish it in the to web as a comma separated value as a CSV, and then we're gonna copy the link and paste it in import regex. And after we click OK, we're gonna have our regex. And every point that is included in this regex is gonna be automatically imported. And let's say we want more points, of course we can select them and they're gonna be imported as well. So let's say we don't want to create a regex and we have a lot of equips. So what we can do is we can go to this equip, for example, and then we're gonna say save selected points, and then let's say this is VAV. Okay, so let's say this is VAV8, and then I'm gonna refresh, and then I'm gonna select both VAVs and say import based on existing VAV8, and then they're gonna have the same points. So after we do this, let's say we want to import the VAVs, gonna click import, and then we're gonna wait for the job to run. Okay, now that the job is done, we can refresh and check that we have the imported marker tag in our records. Let's go to site and then refresh. We can see site A, and then we can see the VAVs. So as you can see, we haven't added any history trending yet. So we can do this as well here. What we can do is we can go to history template, and then we're gonna create a template. Let's say this is VAV8 template, and then we're gonna say his collect interval is going to be 15 minutes, and his collect COV is gonna be 1. And then we're gonna refresh, and we can see it here. Of course, we can edit our template, we can remove or add anything else. So going back to the import view, we were on site A. We can go select them and then say history template is going to be VAV8, and then we can see a job running. It's already done. So let's go back to site, refresh, and then this, okay, his collect interval is 15 minutes, and because the kind of this point is Boolean, we're gonna have his collect COV as a marker tag. So if we go to zone temp, we can see the his collect COV and the his collect interval, and of course for all of them. And we have same thing for the history space. We're gonna select what folder we are under, and then we're gonna find all the sites under this folder. Of course, first we have to generate the records. So for history space, if we're gonna generate records, we cannot just say history. We have to say, we have to put all the nav ID of the folder. So in this example, it's BAS test. Gonna wait for the job to run. And now we have our records. So it's the same process after this. Gonna see them here. They're gonna wait for the job to generate unique nav names, and then we're gonna import. Okay, so now going to define CSpace. So in this view, we're gonna do define how our component space look like. Okay, so we're gonna start by what the heck? So in define CSpace, we're basically going to define how our component space look like. So let's start with selecting the connector. This is gonna start off empty, but I've already created records. So we can see our folders under the C space. In my case, I have my equips under drivers, and then let's say I have equips under Niagara network. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create record, and then I'm gonna see my record here. So this tells me that I'm gonna see all my equips under this URI. So going to site B, for example, I can see all my equips here. So let's say I want VAV. Okay, let's say I want these equips. So I'm gonna define equips, then select the connector. Okay, it's gonna run a job, and while waiting, so if we can see the equips under if we can see the points directly under the equips, then we don't have to define any points. But in other examples, we might have the points under a folder that is under the equips. So in that case, we're gonna have to define the points. So for now, we have defined the equips. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back, select them, and then we're gonna define site. And then let's say they are under site B. Okay, now let's go to BACnet network. And then let's select BACnet device. One second. Okay. So in this example, as I was saying, we have the points under the points folder under the BACnet device too. So after we define the equips, we're gonna have to define the points, and then we're gonna see define points, and then we're gonna say points. Oh, we have to wait for the job to be finished. Okay, it's done now, so we can do it now. Let's go back and then, okay, define points, points. So we can see them now under our haystack connector. Okay, loaded equips and then drivers. So we have two folders, one for BACnet and one for Niagara. For BACnet, we can see the equips that we have defined. They have their relative, which is points, and we still haven't defined the size for those equips. So we're gonna go and define them. So the six, say define size, and then we're gonna say site B, and we still haven't defined points for this one. Now we have the site ref for each equip, and same thing for Niagara. So after we define the C space, we can go to map C space. In this view, we're not gonna use any haystack call, so it's gonna be really fast. And yes, so let's go to Niagara. We have site B, and then we're gonna see our equips. It's pretty much the same as the import view. Select our connector. So we can see them here with the unique nav names, jobs still running. And then we can paste import on existing. Let's say this is spoiler. Let's do one for the RTU. And then we're gonna say RTU. Gonna import them as RTU. And then we can import them. CSV's view, we're gonna tag all of our points here. So we can see the imported equips. The imported equips will have the imported Rex tag. So, and we can see all of the points under this equip and with their tag group. So we're gonna have the tags from the regex that we have already created. And of course, we have already built a default regex in the app. So we're gonna click generate tags and then we're gonna go to default regex. And then if we refresh, it's gonna have the tags for the default regex. Of course, we can switch back to the custom regex. And then, so let's say we want to add more tags to these. We can go and, okay, I already added some tags. So let's synchronize regex from cloud. And then it's gonna have the tags. After we finish tagging, we can apply tags to all, and then we can go to site. What was the equips? VAV7, 8, and 3. So we can see all the tags on the points. Now the import template. So the template that we made to import selected points are going to be shown here. And we can see the records that follows this template, and of course we can change. So let's say we don't want this record in this template, we need it in this, so we can find it here. And we can change the selected points. So let's say I don't want these points anymore, so I can just remove them, and then I can update template, say update VAV6, and then if we go to RTU10, what was it? Okay, component space. So if we go to RTU10, we can see that it has the points that we have updated here. For the history template, we have already talked about this. We can create a template and then we can edit it here. We can remove or add anything. So let's say this, then I can remove it. And we can see the records that follows this template and the points under the record.